There's nothing like a cup of tea before we review some amazing Spider-Man. That's right. I'm Ryan Reed, your host of Reed's Read Spider-Man Crawl Space Edition. Go ahead and check us out at thespidermancrawlspace.com. So everybody, I decided to do some deep talk today as we go from the amazing anniversary issue of 850 to Amazing 50. Well, Amazing 50 in the current line, it's actually technically issue 851, but it's an anniversary issue as Nick Spencer and artist Patrick Gleason finally reveal who is Kindred. I know, I've been wondering too for the last 2 years. So let's get to the pros right away. First of all, the atmosphere is good. I've been a fan of Patrick Gleason. I've also met the man many times at conventions. He just really rocks the dark atmosphere as Nick Spencer ends up showing as Kindred starts slowly moving towards getting everything set up, pulling out, revealing that it's actually George Stacy's grave he was at the scene at the end of 850. And of course, is getting everything set, saying how he's been tired of the game and has everything is not prepared for what they come. And Nick Spencer does a great job giving some more final moments to Norman Osborn as he's confronted with the Sin Eater, as they both basically call each other out on one another. Since Sin Eater talks about all the sins Norman Osborn's doing, as well as Norman himself going over all the craziness and problems he's had himself, but also calling, of course, Stan a hypocrite before his powers and his evil sins are taken away. But I like the twist in the knife when, of course, it's revealed that actually, just like we thought we were, Kindred has been using the Sin Eater ever since he brought him back, and even says too, like, I hate hypocrites. And the fact is, you thought you were just going to get away with all this? This has been my plan since day one. You know what? Go burn there, buddy. I am done with you. And he just, of course, washes his hand. Why it's a quick resolution, at least we finally see what it is as he, of course, actually reveals the point of the Order of the Web. One thing that's been a problem, as we've been saying for a while, you know, besides Julia Carpenter being one of the worst members, but they actually revealing that Kindred's actually been controlling the Order of the Web through Julia Carpenter and then unleashing the sins that, of course, turn them against Peter. And it's very brutal. And, of course, Spider-Man, being smart, decides to go seek help from Doctor Strange after everything happens. But, of course, Doctor Strange calls him that this has been coming for him because, as they said, you made a deal with a demonic entity. Now it's time to pay the price. Food for thought. But that kind of leads us to the cons here. Well, the buildups have been huge. We have a lot of flashbacks and back to reality, as well as pieces between Norman and the Sin Eater, Peter being beaten up, and how he actually ended up at Doctor Strange's doorstep. Meanwhile, while Kindred has been talking about how he's been manipulated, basically it feels like breaking the fourth wall, talking about how long this is. And the truth is, then the revelation comes. Bam! Kindred is Harry Osborn! Shocking, but interesting. And the weird thing is, it's actually been obvious, but not really obvious. And why it's not too much of a craziness, it does lead to many questions of exactly why is Harry Kindred? Not who is Kindred, but also what does he want? You keep talking about Peter, how he's going to, of course, remind him of his sins and the fact he's brought the Stacy's bodies, unburied them to have this nice little big dinner. He's been sitting in the graveyard and he's been manipulating events for so long. So it kind of leads to a very interesting thing is, this is personal, what really is going on? And that's something, another mystery that Nick Spencer does wrap into the whole story. So I have to say, it was not a bad issue. Between the artwork and the story structure, I mean, this is only part one of Last Rites, and now we're going to be caught in an 11-part story with a lot of mini tie-ins as well as the main Spider-Man tie-in. So this should be very interesting. So in the long run, I'm actually going to give this story an A. I was very surprised by it, and I like that Nick Spencer did some checks and points, but the reveal of Harry Osborn as Kindred is kind of raising a ton of questions that hopefully we're going to get the answer with here in the next 10 parts of the story. And following how everything mooks together and exactly how long has Kindred really been manipulating things the way he is, and also how did he become who he is with all these powers and abilities, and what did he do getting everything of the pieces moved to this. And I think that's a very interesting story that Nick Spencer brings into it. And on that note, guys, I think that's all we have to write for today's issue of 50. Why brief and short, it does get to the quick, but of course we do it over tea. It makes everything better. Get it, tea, Dr. Strange? Now you're getting the joke. There we go. Some good stuff right there. If you want to know more from us or check out our amazing podcast and other features, please check us out at the Spider-Man Crawl Space Time. Please look for us on our social medias on Instagram and Twitter and much, much more. And for more information, guys, please don't forget to like us or follow us on our website or on our media. And on that note, guys, I'll see everybody later for the next parts of Last Rites. Catch you later, crawl spacers. Delectable.